That's okay, that's going. This is helping. Well, what people don't realize is that you can make a lot of money, right? Legal lawyers, right? Sue people, get a lot of money for other people, and you're not rich enough to hire a lawyer, yeah? Well, the government has so many lawyers that will sue people for you when they do you wrong. That's right. So you can get justice in this system, just like a fat cat, because the lawyers from the government are more powerful than private lawyers, because they can put people out of business or in jail or anything, you know? So here's an example. And by the way, it's all kinds of things. Like if your boss doesn't pay you right, you know, and you can see there's laws covering and protecting a lot of people. If you're over 40 and they fire you, and that could be against the law, and you can get a lot of money there too, but you don't know, and so that's why I want to show you some places. Now, here's a story I was reading about today. Is about assisted living industry. You know, we have nursing homes, and now we have assisted living, and they're not regulated as much as nursing homes, and that's why these fat cats are getting in, and people from Wall Street are starting setting up assisted living centers all around the country. They're popping up like daisies and they're hiring low-income people and not enough people. And there's a big story here in the Washington Post how they just had hearings on Capitol Hill because people are wandering out of these places, like a guy who just died in Ohio at one of these assisted living places because he walked out and it was cold and nobody knew he was gone and he froze to death. And the deaths are like that are a lot. Let me tell you some data here. Assisted living has grown dramatically since the Senate issued a report 2 decades ago, only to opt against regulating the industry. Assisted living facilities now have as many people as nursing homes. So there's as many people in assisted living as there is nursing homes. So it's a big. The Post, the Washington Post here, investigator revealed that assisted living facilities are often ill-equipped to handle the job of protecting these vulnerable residents. The Post documented 2,000 wandering incidents since 2018, and more than 100 of them died. So people just, you know, they don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I'm 80, I'm getting there. I barely know what I'm doing now. Yeah, and they're wandering off and dying, and that's since this mid-December, when the investigation was published, at least 2 more residents with dementia perished after getting outside unnoticed. Yeah, one in Oregon on Christmas Eve. And the most recent, last week, a man was outside for about 8 hours in frigid night in Columbus, Ohio. So they're having hearings on this to get more regulation. Okay, now there is regulation now, but it's probably not as, not only regulation, but you can't get data on the facilities, but you can get regulation and get help. So if you're thinking about any assisted living places, man, you gotta, and just don't believe. I mean, they're advertising, and you'll see them in Google, and they're just like selling cigarettes or anything like this. You know, they have access to all that stuff, and they're good at it. So you got to get from unbiased opinion. Now, here's where to go to get some unbiased opinion. Okay, one is go to this, theconsumervoice.org. Now they have a directory here of long-term care ombudsman. So what we did years ago, we set up these organizations that are ombudsmans for people who are looking for long-term care facilities. So these are advocates on your side. They're not getting money from the industry or anything like that. So these are the kind of people you call when you have a trouble with somebody. Okay, the other person you would call is your local area office on aging. Even when you're shopping for one or when you have a trouble with one, you call both of these things. This is where you want to know, the best information you can, because they're hiring people, they're trying to save money. See, they're run by people in Wall Street, and all they care about making a payment on the boat or whatever the hell it is, And so they buy these people because it's a booming industry. We have all us baby boomers like us getting old as shit and need help in our declining years. And here's the number for the The elder care hotline is 1-800-677-1116. 1-800-677-1116. So they could get you justice, get you money, and all this kind of stuff, or anybody messes. Now, everybody's regulated. Now, I'm going to send you in the description, I put a list here of a listing for every state. Go down to the description and download the report for your state. I think download the whole report. That's easier that way. Then pick out your state. And you'll see 30, 40 pages of all the offices that will give you free legal help. You know, whether it's, you know, from a bad dry cleaner, somebody that regulates that, to a dentist, to an accountant, or anybody. They're all regulated, and you could get a government office to investigate it, you know, for nothing, and get you a whole bunch of money back, you know, or keep quiet money too, or whatever. But you have to get the help, and you have to know about the free help, because otherwise you'll go to Google and they'll charge you, you know, $200, $400, $500 an hour, and maybe get the money, maybe not. No, you go to these organizations, just download and give them a call or whatever. And when in doubt, you could go to your state attorney general's office. They're a general source to go for in every state, that they protect consumers in your state. So if you have a problem with identity theft or anything, start with them first, but go to the list and I'll show you anything. So if you're worried about an abusive relationship or something and need help with something like that, well, there's a lot of help, and even money for that. You know, so if you're a victim of something like that, there's grants for that too. So make sure you download that. I mean, for a country like ours, the biggest democracy in the world, sort of, you want to know what's there for you without hiring some fat cat attorney, okay? And that's what we do at Let's Go Help. So remember that Let's Go Help, we give you unlimited free help to apply to every grant you're eligible for. Plus, we give out $75,000 every month of our own grants that is just for members, so you can apply for that. Now, we have another one coming up. Actually, on the 30th, we have a grant. We're giving out 25 free laptop computers, so you want to apply for that. And then on the 4th, we have another $40,000 that we're giving out every month. And that goes up to $70,000 after 2 or 3 other grants we have. So, okay? So take a look at us if you're not a member at letsgohelp.com. If you're not a member, download, if you're watching this on YouTube, download the report in the description that gives you all the sources of free legal help for almost any legal problem you could think of. That's what I use. I don't hire attorneys. Silly. The government is more powerful to get your money back, and even extra money than any attorney you could hire, and you don't have to split it with them. Talk to you soon.